let's all take a moment to admire the mythology that is used in Shingeki no Bahamut, because out of countless series I've seen that uses mythology, I think this is one of the very few that has actually done it right. The mythology in Shingeki no Bahamut is stunning. I mentioned it a couple times in my first two reviews of Shingeki no Bahamut, but I want to mention it again because the way the story is like an anime original based off of a card game, pretty much as I've been told, and this is actually a series like being wrote by MAPPA. They're just, writing their own story. I love it. I love the usage of mythology in this series. It is absolutely stunning. Anybody that is crazy to mythology, if anyone loves mythology and they just outright fucking love it, and they go out of their way to read anything mythology, they'll go online and whatever to read anything about different stories, they'll definitely love this series. This series is definitely catered towards anyone that loves mythology. It definitely downright is. Because you will have so much enjoyment from the series if you understand certain themes and different names of different mythology and different aspects of like towns, ancient cities, Sword Valley, stuff like that, demons. When you hear all these different names coming in and you've heard them before from different stories, countless different stories in the past when you read it, it's amazing seeing how it ties into this series. And that is something I am really enjoying. I am loving the themes of this series so fucking much. I mean, I still can't believe that this series is this damn good. I still can't believe it. I remember when I first looked at this series back before I started the first episode, I was actually kind of thinking on skipping it since it was kind of based off of a card game. I'm not gonna lie to you all. I won't. I was actually thinking I was going to skip this. And then now I'm this far into the series and I just want to slap myself so fucking hard right now because that's how good this series is. My god. What even gets me even further with this series is how the animation quality of it it looks amazing. Of course, the animation is not the best of the season, but it looks fucking great. It's brilliant, the vibrant, the colors, the way they just come out at you, like the color palette of this, entire series. I love it. It's stunning. Like, the way the red lines are on the characters, the way you see, like, the overall atmosphere, mood, and the CGI usage in this series, it blends in so well with the backgrounds. Like, freaking the dragons and the creatures that were running in this episode, oh my god, it looks so great. It definitely did. And that is exactly why I love this series so much and why I love this episode. I want to say right now, this is probably one of my favorite episodes so far from the series. This is downright my favorite episode because of the themes that was used in it. The themes just work so well. Now, Azil, hopefully I said his name right. I've heard a little bit of, actually, stories about this guy. The demon dude that was the right-hand man of Lucifer. I've actually seen mythological stories of this dude, and I actually never even realized that real connection of Lucifer and him, but I've heard some things about him, and when his name got introduced this episode, and you saw how he was Lucifer's right-hand man, I was like, holy shit! I was really freaking shocked, and I was like, oh my god. So, seeing these type of themes, like Sword Valley and stuff, added into the series and different, like, ancient names from, like, religion and stuff, it gets me. It makes me happy when I watch this series. I don't know if I'm the only one that's really appreciating the attention to detail when it comes to mythology in this series. Am I the only one that's really enjoying that? So, moving past this, what is this episode about? What was the main concept of this episode of Shingeki no Bahamut? Well, the main concept of this episode is kind of simple, honestly. It's simple, but, I mean, what really this episode does that stands out for the rest in my eyes is because of the choice of themes. But the episode is pretty basic. It sets up a lot of things for upcoming events. For instance, you see at the ending, after the ending song, you see the dude, the knight that was trying to hunt down Amira, is actually probably the father of Amira. There was a couple of Chibits a couple weeks back actually theorizing that, and I want to mention that now. Amira said that she had a mother. We already know about the mother. The mother had the same exact pendant, like a necklace around her, and we saw the father actually have the same pendant necklace on him too. And so, it clearly shows there's a connection between Amira and that dude. A lot of people were hinting and theorizing that maybe that dude took the pendant from, Amira's mother and tried to display it to her, and that's why he was trying to hunt her down. But no, after looking at it, it seems like this dude might be the father of Amira. Because the way it was setting up with Favaro last week's episode, like when it was talking about Favaro's father and then Kaisar's father, it was just way too obvious that they were hinting at maybe that dude being the father of Amira. That was definitely some slight foreshadowing right there. Favaro and Rita try to retrieve Amira and Kaisar from the belly of this beast where Azazel is at. So, I like that a lot. I like how the episode honestly progressed. The execution was done nicely. I personally believe the execution was done nicely. It didn't feel too quick, didn't feel too slow, and it managed to keep my attention. Now, one thing I will say that I noticed that was just really funny about this episode, I don't know if everybody's just gonna get a laugh out of it, but I know I laughed at it. When you saw Rita in the bag, oh my god. She gets in a fucking bag of his Favaro, man. She's like, she's in a little fucking bag. You just see her head sticking up out of this bag and all that. Oh my god, dude. A lolly in a bag. Or a zombie lolly in a bag. That's hilarious. That is fucking hilarious. I laughed so hard. I laughed more than I should at that scene when I saw Rita in a bag. It just, the way Favaro was just like, you know, holding her, like walking with her and all that, I was like, that's brilliant. That is really, really freaking brilliant. So, for the most part, like I said, it sets up the entire events with Favaro and Kaisar settling their differences. That this episode starts off to where they finally, you know, confronting each other and trying to settle their differences, but Favaro makes a promise to Kaisar, like, after we get out of here, I will settle this with you. And so, we clearly see there's going to be some form of character development, most likely next week's episode, for Favaro and Kaisar. They might finally settle their differences, and they will finally realize that both of their parents were set up by the demons. So, overall, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I mean, how did you feel about this week's episode of Shingeki no Bahamut? Did you enjoy it? Did you hate it? What was your favorite moments about it? I love you all so much. Please be safe. Chibi out.